Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear Muslims, brothers and sisters, and hello to everyone who is watching this channel. In the first video, I tell you people about Kalimat Tayyib, about the first part La ilaha illallah in one video, and about the second part Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the second video. So once one become a Muslim, the first and foremost thing that Allah demand from that person there is that the person should pray. And from the side of Allah Almighty, there is no excuse for not praying the first. That are the 5 obligatory prayers on any Muslim who is living in this world. So after Iman and after having a belief in Allah Almighty and His final and last messenger Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and after saying Shahada La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, one has to pray. So prayer, it is having great value near Allah Almighty. And once Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that after Iman, what is that is valued the most by Allah Almighty. And the beautiful Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied that it is prayers, means namaz, the first namaz, when it is prayed on its specific time, that is being loved by Allah the most after Iman, after one is having Iman. Thereafter, Abu Hurairah asked that after namaz, what is that thing that Allah loves the most? Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied that after that it is obedience to the parents. It is loved by Allah the most after one has done the obligatory prayers, 5-time prayers. And thereafter Abu Hurairah asked that what is the third thing that is loved by Allah the most. And the beautiful Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied that after that it is the jihad in the way of Allah. One is ready to lay down his life for Allah, in the path of Allah. So namaz, or prayers, the obligatory prayers that Muslim practice in masajid, the males especially, it is obligatory, and there is no excuse in it except for a female. If the female is having periods or if the female after giving birth to a child, she may have a break of 40 days, and in those days she is not required to pray the first prayers, because she is not attained purity under the Islamic Sharia, so as to be able to pray. So in the rest of rest of occasions, everyone has to pray. And in the Holy Quran, Allah Almighty say to the Muslims who are in the state of war with the infidels or with the kuffar, or those attacking them, the enemies of Islam and Muslims, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in His holy Quran that when you are in a state of fight with the infidel forces, then you should even pray while during the fight with the infidel forces. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set out a procedure in some detail that some from amongst the Muslims will have their weapons in their hands and be alert to the enemy and responding to them, while others will pray, and then those praying will stand alert and respond to the enemy, and those who are alert and responding to enemies will now come and have prayers with the Imam. So if prayers are not excused because one is in the battlefield and he is to fight the enemies of Allah and the enemies of Islam, then there is left no excuse for anyone else not to pray once he had become a Muslim. And in Islam, in the Islamic history, once it happened that the Muslims, they were having a fight with the, I think, with the Roman Empire, and there happened to be one of the generals from amongst the Roman who was a Christian, and he said to the general of Muslims, who was Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu, the general said to him that he has some arrows which he had soaked for 3 days and 3 nights in poison, and when Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu is if struck by those arrows, then he will die as a result of the poisonous effect on the edge of that arrow. Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu asked him, where is the poison? Now this is the degree of belief of Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu on Allah Almighty, and with that belief he take that poison from that Christian general and he drank it, and nothing happened to him. A person may object to this thing, but in the recent past, when there was a malaria parasite and the antidote was being prepared by one of the scientists, and no one was ready to infect with himself with malaria parasite and then take that antidote so as to test whether or not he is being protected from malaria or not. So when no one was found by that scientist, he get himself the scientist get himself infected by the malaria parasite, and then the findings were that the antidote was okay and it was working in human body, and the antidote can kill malaria parasite when it enters into the body. So Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu, he was having a belief in Allah, and he do not believe in that poison, that it can kill Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu until and unless Allah wants Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu to be killed by that poison. But since Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu, he was the sword of Allah, and the sword of Allah can never be broken, and this is what the history proves. Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu was not being killed by any of the infidel force, though he fought numerous and countless battles for Islam. So when the general sees Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu, he was amazed. Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu used to recite an ayah from the Holy Quran, and that is Bismillahil ladhi la yadhurru ma'a ismi shay'un fil ardi wala fis sama' wa samiul alim. It is beginning with the name of Allah, that nothing in the earth and nothing in the heavens that can do any harm to if Allah do not want, they cannot, those things cannot do any harm to someone when Allah do not wants, as Allah is the listener and the all-knowing. It is somewhat like that translation. So the general, on seeing this scene, the general became a Muslim, and Islamic historians says that that general, since it was not time for his prayers, so some historians say that he do not pray at all, and some historians say that he just prayed 2 rakahs of some nafil prayers, and nafil is the non-obligatory prayer, and then he take part in that war from the side of Muslims, and he was then martyred. So the purpose of this story was to tell my audience that after becoming a Muslim, one had to pray, but if one sees to the masajid in the areas of Muslim, they are deviant from those who should pray in the masajid, especially in Fajr prayers and in Isha prayers. And it has been written in the books of the Jews that when Muslims start praying the Fajr prayers, and their strength reaches to such an extent that it is equivalent to the Muslim community gathering at Jummah prayers, then that will be the time that it will be the fall of Jews and the rise of Muslims in this world. And according to Muslim ulama, if less than half population of Muslims they perform obligatory prayers, then at world level, at international level, the powers will be in the hands of infidels, and they will be the ruling class, and the Muslims will be like the subjects. And if 50% of Muslims perform obligatory prayers as has been ordained by Allah Almighty and as has been performed by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then the word power play, it will be 50-50. And if the Muslims in masses, more than 50% of them pray to Allah Almighty the first prayers, then the Muslims will become the rulers of this world. So prayers is something that is obligatory, and one had to know how to pray, how to prepare himself or herself for prayers, and how to pray. There is a great deal of difference between the prayers of a male Muslim and that of a female Muslim. For female Muslim, it is preferable to be be in the home and be in a quiet or in a lonely room in the home, and to pray there. That is most advisable to her under the fiqh of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayh. And the prayers of females are also different because they have to cover up their body, and they have to pray in such a way so as to be decent and presentable, and in such a way as had been prayed by the Ummahat al-Mu'mineen radiyallahu anhum ajma'in, and as has been prayed by the daughter of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and other sahabiyat radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. And for male Muslims, it is not permissible to pray at home. A male Muslim has to go to masjid nearby him, and for those people who are not having the opportunity to have a masjid nearby them or in their locality, because they are living in such a region that is dominated by the infidels and non-Muslims, and they either do not allow Muslims to go to mosques or masajid, or they either do not allow the construction of a masjid, then those Muslims, they can have such gathering for prayers at their own homes with their own family persons only, because at their homes they cannot invite outsiders. And in areas, if there is a place where only males mix with each other, then at that place a masjid can be bifurcated in that place, so that Muslims have a chance to pray to Allah Almighty over there. So dear brothers and sisters, so after accepting Islam, prayers, performing obligatory prayers, it is the first and foremost thing. And ulama said that in the Holy Quran, Allah Almighty has ordered 712 times in the Holy Quran to the Muslims to pray. It is called Aqimus Salat, which is having a very broad meaning. It is not just praying, it is having the importance and value of prayer in one's heart, and properly planning for prayers that may come during the day. For example, this one is going to embark on a journey, then he should be prepared as to where and when the 5 obligatory prayers are going to come, so that he is well prepared for that time, so that he may perform his prayers. For example, if one is having an air journey, then what I've experienced in Pakistan International Airlines is that there is hardly a place for one person or two person to pray in a moving aircraft. So one has to prepare himself for prayers by making ablution or wudu, and then he has to pray as has been prayed by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this video was about prayers, which is important and obligatory. Hope Muslims do pray. Jazakallah khair.